Hello, I'm head of the Korean Consular mission in Toronto. During my stay here over last 3 years, I discovered a lot while doing a lot. Gathering with the Korean Canadians, working with the City of Toronto and Province of Ontario, communicating with colleagues in the Consular Corps, and looking around Toronto, Ontario, and Canada. Now I would like to share those discoveries with you. In world history, great powers had something common. They were multinational and multicultural. There are numerous examples for that. The Roman Empire and Ottoman Empire in Europe, Mongol Empire and Chinese dynasties in Asia. In 20th century, the former Soviet Union and the United States also fall into the same category. Recently, Canada is attracting my attention because it tries to learn lessons from the rise and fall of the world powers in the past. Not so long ago, Canada began to exist following the destiny almost same as that of the United States. But since some time, it has been on a different path from its neighbors. Now, Canada is waking up. As well known, Canada started as a binational community between French and British in the land of the indigenous people. Canada apologized to the indigenous people for their atrocities in the old days and embraced them. Canada declared itself to be a bilingual country and also embraced French minority. Later on, it opened the door to the European and Asian immigrants and recognized their culture of origin. Multinationalism and multiculturalism are getting stronger in Canada, and step by step, Canada strengthened the basics to show and prove itself to the world. In the near future, Canada will be a country with a population of 40 million, endowed with abundant natural resources. While the size of its market is growing accordingly, Canada pursues diversification of cooperative partnership from the dependence on its neighbor based on the global ethnic network resulting from its multinational integration. It does not stop there. Canada continues to explore promising potentials to survive and to be competitive. The oil and gas from the inland Canada are looking for the exit to the Pacific. The free trade agreement with Korea is not enough. Other partners are on the waiting list. Canada joined the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, so-called CPTPP. In the advent of the fourth industrial revolution, the development of AI and space industries is also encouraged. To make its own voice in the world, Canada does not hesitate to play its deserved and required role. It has never refused roles as an honorable NATO member state, together with active participation in the UN peacekeeping operations. For the purpose of making contribution to the peaceful settlement of the North Korean nuclear issue, the Vancouver Foreign Ministers meeting was hosted in 2018 to promote fair trade and to fight against protectionist movement in the world. It also provided a venue by hosting the trade ministers meeting in Ottawa the same year. In the area of climate change, Canada is a leading country implementing the Paris Agreement in the world. Though Canada is a member of the G7, it is comfortable and friendly to the states in G20 and further to other countries in the world. While maintaining Canadian values, it has been flexible to others. Furthermore, Canada does not show ambition to the world, but it proves Canada is a country of principle. Even better, Canada is a country facing the Pacific as well as the Atlantic Ocean on the northward from outside. Thus, it can accommodate all the philosophies and religions of the world. Canada can embrace all the countries with different ideologies. Some idea strikes me about Toronto. Toronto is the heartland of Canada in many ways. And from there, many things can be initiated to change the world by realizing above-mentioned merits, advantages, and potentials. Toronto has strong features in Canada, economically, politically, socio-culturally, and geographically. Commercial and mining finances in Canada are centered around Toronto. Lots of investments are guided to the AI and IT industries in Greater Toronto area. Many think tanks and educational institutions are concentrated in and nearby Toronto. Many opinion leaders are working there, influencing provincial and federal politics. Most important is the GTA accommodates the various ethnic communities from across the world. The global ethnic network in Toronto makes many things possible. Toronto has a potential to be another Hollywood or a hub of entertainment industry in Canada. The hub is possible by observing and processing various national stories from rest of the world to consume the result product in the enlarged domestic market and to disseminate them to the world through its ethnic network and diversified partnership. As a byproduct, if redeveloped a little more, Toronto can be widely known tourist attraction surrounded by its various ethnic communities. Furthermore, supported by upgrade of AI and IT industries, the smart or green economy may be realized, probably leading to the development of the comparable city at the waterfront, and also leading to making Toronto another mecca of the future to be followed by other countries. Many think tanks, together with the opinion leaders in Toronto, can guide the open, comfortable, and friendly Canada to make friends as many as possible in the world, thus strengthening its global voice. They can contribute to Canada's global leadership in peace by suggestion of sending peace delegation to the regions in conflict and contribute to another leadership in the world economy, as well as by advocating follow-up trade ministers meeting on fair trade. They can continue with some peace initiative in Asia Pacific, an example of which may be organizing regional memorial events for the tragedies in the World War II, comparable to the Victory Day commemoration in Europe. There are still many other opportunities to initiate changes to create better future of the world from Toronto. All roads lead to Rome. Without road network, Rome could not maintain its empire. The roads made possible the essential communication what transportation within the Roman Empire. In reference to Mackinder's heartland theory, I can say, whoever controls the road would control the world, as Mongol did in the Eurasian continent, and the British did through the world maritime route. In the 21st century, the most important is transport of the information. Thus, the rivalry centered on the road information between the world powers becomes intense to control the world. In the information age, the physical features are less meaningful, and the physical geopolitics may not apply. In the past, Korea and Canada were nowhere, but now Korea is not the Korea before, and Canada is not either. One day, small countries such as Portugal and Netherlands were dominant players in the world maritime transportation. Like those, Korea, without notice, has become a major player in the information age. And the geopolitical and geoeconomic destiny of Canada is getting closer to that of Korea these days in the course of the Fourth Industrial Revolution. Canada is a country of diversity and harmony, and the Korean-Canadian community is its important part. Korean Canadians are descendants of their forefathers with the success story of immigration or that of diversity and harmony. Their ancestors from northern Manchuria, Central Asia, India, and Chinese continent went through tough and dangerous passages in land and sea, and finally settled in the Korean peninsula. They overcame enormous challenges, achieved successful settlement and harmonious integration, and developed rich culture together with the prosperity, passing on the creative dynamism and refined elegance to their descendants. In the recent century, the descendants wrote another success story by economic and political development along the Han River. The descendants continue the story in Canada. The ethnic Koreans in Canada, together with the people either side of the Pacific, are expected to make a meaningful contribution to our future in the 21st century, surely based on the great potentials accumulated so far. I would like to encourage Canadians and Koreans to keep going toward the new world for better future, and others to pay attention to them, while saying we can change the world from Toronto, the heartland of so-called English-spoken Siberia, in my terminology, in the names of another Silicon Valley, another Hollywood, or original York compared to New York, supported by multinational network, as did Novosibirsk, a comparable city in Siberia, for the space age by developing Sputnik, the first satellite in the world.